stuff at the beginning here. Haughty Djinn. Haughty Djinn is the kind of card I would usually never want to try to build around in Modern. I think that this formula of 3 mana creature that you have to untap with is almost never playable in Modern. Cards like Eruth is always the first card that comes to mind for me for whatever reason, but there's tons and tons of like 3 mana creatures. Tamashi is kind of an example where you don't want to play Tamashi in like a fair deck, but you can play her in a combo deck. These 3 mana creatures that you have to untap with to get a lot of value with are almost never good. However, there is an interaction here that I think kind of negates that rule I have, and that is the fact that Haughty Djinn makes Apostle's Blessing cost 0 mana. And so the fact that you can play your incredibly powerful 3-drop that is very likely to just kill your opponent on the following turn, or at least deal a huge chunk of damage, and protect it for 0 mana with Apostle's Blessing is a really, really big deal. Additionally, we've been talking a lot about Tolarian Terror and how Tolarian Terror in Modern is a card that is Modern playable. It's very powerful, costing potentially 1 mana for a 5/5 Ward 2. That's a very good rate. But the issue is that this card competes with Murktide Regent, where Murktide Regent wants you to get those instants and sorceries out of your graveyard, and Tolarian Terror wants them to stay in there. However, Haughty Djinn, Tolarian Terror, and Bedlam Reveler are kind of like the 3 cards that want you to keep those instants and sorceries in the graveyard. And I think that potentially the combination of them, and obviously there's like this much more aggressive version, playing Blessing, Team of Battle Rage, Stepper Denial, gives you a reason to play this take on Blue-Red. I tried a few different versions. I tried like Counterspell in the main, I tried Swift Spear in the main. I ended up liking Founding the Third Path more than anything else, where Founding the Third Path fills up your graveyard a lot for your creatures, which is very important. It oftentimes acts like a 0 mana spell or 1 mana spell, cast a 1 mana spell, so it's not like super high on the mana curve, and can give you a lot of extra value, flashing back. Iteration for card advantage, Lightning Bolt for removal, sometimes just Manamorphose to generate mana if you have a Djinn in play, Apostle's Blessing to get through a blocker, Team of Battle Rage to win the game. A lot of flexibility there. Did they fix the bug? As far as I know, they haven't fixed the bug. I tested it Monday, but this deck is not playing See the Truth. We're playing Expressive Iteration instead. We can keep this. Playing Grief like this is also interesting. I think that I would be playing 4 Malaka Rebirths with like 4 Griefs in this list, cutting the Shieldreds. I would also likely be playing the full 4 copies of Liliana. I think she's really going to shine here. I think that you could pretty easily cut the first Terminate for the 4th Liliana. There's, some overlapping bases being covered there, with Liliana being, like largely an answer to Murktide. Man, this has really been like the Shattering Spree day, huh? But I was also playing a card with Ward 2 in their deck. Ooh, am I supposed to stub this? I think I am. I want to be able to bolt this next turn. And also keep them off Affinity is kind of nice. You can cut 3 lands for your rebirth. I'm not sure exactly which ones. Oh, sorry. Today's been so chaotic, obviously. Meant to play basic here. A lot of mana flood, mana screw here. Okay, so I can just spend 4 mana on a Tolarian Terror, or I can cast Frantic Inventory. I think I'll cast the Inventory here. It's kind of close. Dude, today has been brutal. No, I have exactly 18 lands. Today has been so brutal so far. Yeah, so this is what Dylan is playing. Also playing Hollow One. Shieldred is just 4 mana. I guess you can cast it off Waste On sometimes. So much though. Raven Man only makes 1 bird. Oh, that's really tough. Oh no, it only makes 1 bird. I thought it made 3 off the Birding Inquiry. Then yeah, it's probably not good enough either, unfortunately. As soon as they pop the relic, it's good for us, but I mean, we're also probably dead, huh? Yeah, sorry, we just can't beat the Years of Saga plus relic here. I know it's kind of a fast concession, but I'm a little tilted. We're running pretty bad today. I think a mental health concession is in order. So I do want to cut the Stubborn Denials here. I think like 2 Magus against the Saga deck is fine. Blessing does give protection from artifacts, which can be relevant, but I also think that the Terrors are going to get gummed up on the ground really often in this matchup, and just being in on like just being in on Djinn is probably reasonable. I could also play Fury. I think Fury is like a little bit less good against the Affinity deck than you would normally expect, but maybe just doing something like this, being like much more controlling, don't need the protection spells. I feel like the deck is some sort of selection that is a mana value 4+. I mean, it might be variance for you for sure. I'm not sure, obviously, without seeing your matches. I think I was definitely considering playing the 25th land in that list, Panda, but Uchiyatsu wants to say thank you. When you say some amount of selection, like I like, what are we doing? We're playing Omen of the Sea. We're playing Snapcaster Opt instead of the Chalices. You know, you could do that, but I also really do personally feel like Modern, for a long time, has not been about card selection very much. It is just very tough to try to spend the first few turns of your Modern match opting and Serum Visionsing and Omen of the Seizing and trying to set up well, when the reality is that we milled over a Frantic Inventory. Oh wow, awesome, we get to Founding, draw 2. Okay, it was all worth it today. Yeah, but you know, you do all the, you know, it's just like really not what Modern for me has been about for a long time. It's just very tough to feel like this is how you need to be building control decks. That was pretty sweet, at least. So I guess just like a lot of loose thoughts here. I really want to see 4 Grief, 4 Malak Rebirth. I think the Raven Man is bad the more I'm thinking about it. Shieldred might be good because you could ramp into it off Waste Not, but it's still just, this doesn't quite have the effect you need of like getting to really play 4 Waste Nots, you know? Or like, that's kind of what like I always feel like you want to do in these decks and you don't get to. Cyber does look pretty solid, I'll say. Although, yeah, I mean, this is a definitely deck that can get away with Kolagon's Command Syndrome a little bit with the added discard value. It's a good dispute. Wait, how did they dispute there? Oh, so this is dispute, not rebuke. Okay. Yeah, okay. First thing I thought they had rebuked me here. Okay. Consider... Splash for Rin and 6. I mean, it doesn't sound like a terrible idea. Definitely not one I considered. Another Founding. I think I'm gonna Graveyard that. Then we'll Fury here. So playing Magus of the Moon can stop me from casting a Djinn that I draw until I find like a Manamorphose, which is pretty bad. But it can cut my opponent off of their blue spells. And I think especially with the ability to just like draw a land and hardcast Fury, I should just do this. It's close though. Right, trying to do anything turn 1 or 2 outside of reaction. I mean, but yeah, but you're a control deck. That's, you know what I mean? Like, you need to react turn 1, turn 2. Like, that's your whole deck, is reacting on turn 1, turn 2, and then capitalizing later. It might just be a difference of philosophy, for sure, too. I don't know. You might not be wrong, you know, you might be right that it's better to play some selection, but... Splashing for Rin and 6 seems tough. It seems potentially doable. It also, seems like, maybe I experienced some positive variance and you experienced some negative variance, but I definitely feel like the deck was running really well on Tuesday. Blick, thank you for the tier 1. Appreciate you. Okay, we have a lightning bolt for that. Do you have blue mana now, though? That's kind of gross. So let me hit them for 6. I think now that I shouldn't have tapped this, but now that I have, it's like pretty obvious I have this. I'll just kill this now. And I think there's a really good chance that I'm going to want to chump block here, bolt this, and then I can play Djinn with the ability to double strike on defense, untap double strike on offense. My giving opinion? I can try to. Why play Magus against Affinity? Killing Urza Saga. Oh, interesting that they didn't attack with the companion. Oh, because they have a counter spell. You guys want a fancy win? You want a fancy win here? That was a pretty fun game. One fun game after like an hour of misery. Okay. You want to cut the third Magus on the draw? Maybe like one stub. I don't know. I cut my terror. It's gonna be one terror. We'll put one terror. Still want the full 3 on the draw, On the draw, we have a cantrip. We don't have Shattering Spree. We do have a pretty good hand. 3 looks at land 2. We're like, that's like 60 something percent, right? Also being able to find Consider, another cantrip. Fury Lightning Bolt if we stall. I think I'm gonna try it on the draw. Can I check this out? I don't do deck techs just for the resub. I do them for $10, 2 gifted subs, or channel points. Also, this seems to be like somewhat stock. Hardened Scales. Don't know if exactly... I don't know if I can just rebuild Hardened Scales for you immediately either. And then Blake with the deck tech for $10. Thank you. Kind of like bolting this to reduce affinity. I think I need to kind of get in the mindset that like Lightning Bolt is just like not really a super premium card in this matchup, Yeah, it said you might have missed it, but it said for a second that they were paying costs. So I think that they have they must have Thought Monitor or the other a 7 mana affinity spell. So I should hold up the Dress Down so I can play a hedge against the 7 mana affinity spell here. And then Blick, if you post a link in the chat, I can take a look whenever you're ready. I don't understand what Dress Down is for. So Dress Down is mostly here to kill Urza Saga tokens. Urza Saga tokens have their power toughness is equal to the number of artifacts you have in play. And if you remove that ability, they just die. Sometimes, like in this spot though, you can stop them from drawing 2 off of a Thought Monitor. Although it's certainly like less about that. Rhinos don't cascade. Okay, good name for the deck. Okay, so my goal here is to try to convince them to pop this relic or this Tormod's Crypt after I attack. So I don't know if they're going to be convinced just yet. So yeah, let's really convince them. Let's really just dump a lot of cards in the yard. I really want them to pop the Crypt this turn so that I can keep going. Although I guess I should play by Mountain. Is there any way this dies in combat? Not really, I guess. Can get bounced though. Yeah. Gonna try not to commit too much more into the yard here. Maybe Hardcasting Fury next turn if they play another creature. And they have one card in their hand. How does Magus cause Urza Saga to be sacrificed? It's kind of complicated. You know. I don't know that I could fully explain it. It's just one of those things, you know. It's just one of those things. They had one card in their hand. Now they have two cards in their hand. Now they have one. Pretty good sequence for my opponent, obviously. Okay, let's get you drawing. So losing the Manamorphose bad, now that I've drawn the Founding. I don't know why they pop. I guess they're scared of like Reveler and stuff with that pop there. So this turn I can go... I'm going to save an Otawara for a Construct token most likely. This turn I can go Fury with Lightning Bolt up, and then... I guess I could play the Otawara next turn and play Founding plus Fury if I wanted to. I'm hoping to also draw like a Dress Down. I guess I only have one Dress Down left in the deck. I could draw Magus next turn, I suppose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's still gonna be 7 7s. Pretty bad. Okay. So let me go Founding on Chapter 2. Just mill myself. And then Hardcast Fury. Hardcast Fury and pass. I kind of feel like this incentivizes them to go for Shadow Spear, which I can maybe blow out with the... Otawara. So that'll be 770 both Frogmite. It is right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it's just 6. So I suppose I should attack. 4, 5, 6. Okay. Rhinos don't cascade. Oh boy. Curve is a little high. It's kind of my first note where you're adding compared to the Esper Ephemerate Random list I like to play, playing 4 Siege Rhino. I don't know. It's also like it seems like compared to the Esper version I like to play that you've kind of cut the good ones and you've you've added the bad ones. Adding Grizzly Salvage, Gaze, Rhino over the like very powerful Ephemerate Elemental package. Okay, so taking 9. Yeah, we took 9 before. Pops the Relic. So I need to upkeep Lightning Bolts. If I draw a Lightning Bolt, I win. If I go Bolt, Frogmite, Bolt, Ornithopter, Otawara, Construct, Lightning Bolt them. You could draw first. No. Oh yeah. So I guess I could draw. I should have done this in the draw step. You're right. I'm gonna attack with both. My opponent. I think my opponent has to block, right? Like I don't know in what world I confidently attack here, and my opponent thinks that they just have the backswing. Yeah. So yeah, I think this attack makes sense. That's a good trick to know with the draw step bolt there. Probably doesn't come up that often. Yeah, I mean, I can't recommend playing Gaze in these lists. I don't like the cards. I don't like Otherworldly Gaze very much at all. I don't recommend playing Angel Serenity and Ashen Rider in the main deck when you're also playing for Archon of Cruelties. I think it's just too many. I don't usually recommend not playing... Oh, so you are playing Unmarked Grave. But... you're playing too many of the these derpy 2 mana looting cards. I think are generally pretty weak. I've been much less impressed with them than I would have ever hoped to be, and I also think Siege Rhino is just and Salvage are just not worth splashing for at all, especially when you're already going through the hoops of playing Witch's Cottage, you know. Yeah, we were also super flooded game 1 of this match. That being said, we might still win, huh? Yeah, Derpy Nostalgia. I mean, if you want to do this for fun, right? If you want to play this deck for fun, I would definitely recommend not playing Angel, not playing Ashen Rider. Yeah, I already exiled the Bolt. I had no instants or sorceries in the yard when I cast that Founding just now. Okay, and we'll keep this. I guess these are my thoughts. It looks very fun too. Like I miss Siege Rhinos almost as much as the next person. Okay, opponent's also on a Mulligan of 6. They're on the play here. I do feel like Inventory has felt like an upgrade over Iteration in this deck, which is weird to say for sure, but it has so much synergy with all the self-mill. It's better with Founding. It's better with Djinn. I think I missed the Coco Streamhouse channel. It was good. There's like 1 or 2 YouTube videos of it. We'll obviously play more too, but yeah. Listen. I hate to say this stuff on stream, but it is a little sus to be like, you stream now, and then there's like followed by 2-minute pause. You know, I'm not accusing any individual person, including my opponent, but I definitely noticed that now that I've played a lot of Magic Online off stream and before I was a streamer, and there's like a way higher density of like 1 to 2 minute pauses at the beginning of matches now than it used to. So much lower density now. Obviously opponent could be doing anything, you know, besides ghosting, or not accusing them specifically, but you know what I mean? Okay, it'd be nice to mill over a Djinn. I did mill over a Djinn. Yeah, like my opponent could be, you know, messaging somebody, oh, I'm playing against the Spiring Spike, you know. But some number of the 1 to 2 minute pausers are, you know, firing up the stream. Hero deck is usually what I like to refer to lists like this that are ambitious. Like, I don't think that I've broken it here. I don't think this is like a super duper competitive strategy, but I do think Apostle's Blessing Demilich, which we haven't done today, is really interesting and powerful, and today is, you know, a little bit more for fun than the average stream. So a Serpent this turn to turn on. We milled over another Frantic Inventory, but a Serpent this turn to turn on Stubborn Denial will be really nice. We have a few looks. So I'll make blue now. There's a Djinn. That's kind of interesting. So I could just play Djinn, and then if my opponent living ends, I'm pretty likely to just untap and kill them. And if they don't, I've got like Stubborn Denial, Apostle's Blessing up. If they bounce here, I get to Apostle's Blessing. Although not if they Otawara. They didn't do anything with that 2 mana. They do have a flyer, the Curator of Mysteries, but I can give protection from blue if I want to. Sorry for rhyming. I should also almost definitely upkeep Thought Scour myself, right? Because they're architecting me. Yeah, I defeated the black bar by just remaking the scene completely. I also made a Lucy cam, but Lucy is sadly with Esther and Athena. Draw Step Thought Scour? No, because they want to, in theory they're putting my worst card on top with the Architect's Right, so I just like whatever like the least relevant card is very likely to be on top right now. So I think I should be just bidding that. Ooh, GG. Yeah, I mean I think I'm just gonna not cast off of this. Oh, it's still exiles. Is this up to 1? Exile target. Oh, it's not up to 1. That's good to know. But I could just simply go Temur Browder Rage, Apostle's Blessing, with Stubborn Denial up for a Force of Negation. We could just Manamorphose. The problem is that I wouldn't have Stubborn Denial up on their turn, but I don't think it should really matter very much. Cool. So we get the extra counter spells. Another shore up's appealing. Or the shore up is appealing. Magus is better on the play. We're not on the play. Then we can cut the lightning bolts, and I think I'm also going to play the 4th Battle Rage over the Founding. The Founding's worse when you have all these counter spells, for sure. Morphos should cost 1. Oh, right, I forgot that Morphos costs 1. Yeah, we should have Morphos, though. Hold on, I'll be right back. I'm just grabbing a Lucy, hold on. Hey Lucy, get in your chair. Come here. Okay, let's keep this. I'm gonna back the shore up. Get in your chair, come on. Yeah. Come on. See the treat? Are you sure? I will train. Oh. I will train you to be the perfect stream companion. Good girl, Lucy. Good girl. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Tashi, how's it going? I hope your move went well. Oh yeah, sorry, I need to take the text off of this. Good girl, Lucy, good girl. Yes, so happy. She actually sits in the chair. Athena just won't refuses to sit in the chair. Yeah, we got her like 3 or 4 days ago. She was in not the best situation, and Esther got her out of the situation, and now she's here. She's fitting in very well to the family. She's just the best dog, or one of the best dogs in the house. She's like a top 2 dog in the house. Yeah, she's very, very sweet. She's just very sweet, nice, and she's good. She like listens, and she comes, and she stays, and she doesn't chew on stuff for the most part. For the most part. Yeah, her hair is definitely looking a lot better. Yeah, when we got her hair was like, it was so gross. It was really, really dry and matted and like rough. And we gave her a few baths, and also just like petting her a lot has seemed to really increase the health of the fur. I think I'm gonna shock to like make them think I have 1 mana counterspell. She's probably going through adjustment period. Paper might change after a few months. I've never heard of that before. I wouldn't be surprised, of course. Okay, so we just have a Tolarian Terror, and they get to grief my Djinn, unfortunately. We'll see, we'll see. I think she's gonna be fine. If anything, I think she's gonna become better behaved. We're trying to get her to see like a groomer. We haven't quite gotten around to it yet. Okay, good old grief bug, huh? Could maybe be trying to do this in response to stuff. Oh no, I made red trying to find another Manamorphose. Now I would have obviously loved to slam the Terror. That being said, we're in pretty good shape here. They kind of have to leave this back to block the Djinn. I can trade Terror for Riverwinder, take like 8, go to 9. Okay, bravely attacking with Curator. They might have a bounce spell, or I guess they're just still thinking. Athena's gonna teach Lucy. Yeah, Athena and her have pretty different personalities. Where Athena's very like she loves to play. She likes to play more than Lucy does. Lucy likes to snuggle more. Athena likes it kind of in the evening. Athena likes it to be calm and quiet. But Athena, or I don't know. It seemed like Athena's kind of getting tired of the puppy energy somewhat. Why make red when have so many blue cantrips? I mean, maybe it was just a mistake. I was just thinking about like the upside of finding another Manamorphose, but that was probably a bit too greedy, huh? I think the record goes away with the cam. Yeah, the record I guess is hidden here. Hold on. Good catch. Oh, she's just so good. Maybe they just have another curator. Endurance, okay. Well, now we have to rebuild. Unsuccessful so far. Lucy stream when? I mean, like literally right now, right? Block like this, take 7, 8, 9. Lose a violent outburst. No outburst. Obviously gonna need to chain some cantrips together. Scalding Tarn. 18 lanes, by the way. See you, game number 3. Damn it. Endurance is very good there. Could play Dress Down against Endurance, although it turns off by Djinn's power, so I guess not. Oh, do I want Magus on the play, though? Like a couple Magus on the plays are fine. Less protection is fine, maybe. A lot of dogs don't bark for the first few weeks, months when they're adopted. That's interesting. I'd never heard of that before. Yeah, she's currently not barking very much. A little bit, though. How sharp it? I like it. It's just like, you know, protection spell, but it's a really good one. Like, especially with all these Solitudes being so good against these style decks, I think you just, like, want to play more protection spells, you know? Okay, so we've got some protection, which is really nice, or some counter spells. We have cantrip. This just should be a keep, I think. Obviously, one lander is risky, but we got our sideboard cards, we have our threat, we have Djinn plus blessing protection. We have consider, which is, you know, 2 looks at a land. Is there a Pet Lucy redemption? Not yet. We'll see. We'll see. This is. I'm surprised I even set up the camera this quickly, to be honest. Okay, we do draw the land. Lucky us. So we have 2 instants or sorceries in the yard at the moment. It'd be really nice to draw, like, you know, cantrips here, but we'll also take a land. We just don't want to draw creatures, really. Stubborn Denial, not that good. I guess, yeah. I guess counter spells and protection spells also in the range of. Not that good here. There are some notes for the deck. Urza Saga targets the main deck. Since Urza Saga's looped with Red and 6 or Power Conduit. Cyborg is still together, not sure to play. Elixir for Burn, Looping Sagas, Copium. Talisman of Conviction seems weird, but the deck seems pretty mana hungry. Okay. I don't have to read. Oh, so it's just a talisman. Okay. Hold on. Let me maybe finish this game and get to the deck tech. Okay, so we'll go Founding the Third Path on chapter 2. And hopefully mill a creature to not be super weak to Living End here. Well, they have Force. Yeah, if they have Force and do another Cascade spell, you know, we can get Living Ended. So one issue I see, I know I said I'd do this after, but we can do this now. One issue I see with a lot of these like Power Conduit, Fable, Saga decks is that your clock is, your Goldfish is very, very slow. Your Goldfish is very, very slow, and you don't have a lot of interaction for big mana combo decks. You have some, with like, you know, your Beseiju, your Needle, your like tutorable Graveyard Hate, but that's usually not going to be like enough to get the job done, you know what I mean? Speaking of enough to get the job done, I don't think that my opponent would let me have a land right on top. Should TBR not be in Twinferno? The trample, in my opinion, the trample is much more relevant than the ability to like copy a spell. I did try Twinferno yesterday, and I really hated it, to be honest. Yeah, I think I'm dead. I can maybe draw a second Terror. No, I still die. Tough match, tough match. Why is Djinn playable and not Enigma Drake? Is the cost reducing ability so relevant? It is completely relevant, yes. The difference is that it makes Apostle's Blessing cost 0 mana, so you have a 0 mana protection spell for your Djinn to untap and kill them. Also, you know, it reduces like 10 other spells in the deck, but yes, that is the difference between this card and Enigma Drake, and having a 0 mana protection spell is very exciting. Okay, let's keep this. So I will say that in the sideboard, I want to see like mostly interaction for a big mana combo. So I want to see like Beseiju copies. I want to see a full 4 Beseijus in the deck, 1 main, 3 side. I don't see 1 in the main deck at the moment. You should have 1 in the main deck, and I think you should have 3 in the sideboard. Veil of Summer is a card I really dislike here because you're in theory weak to 4-color Omnath, and you're weak to big mana combo. Veil of Summer is a card for interactive matches that aren't those 2 decks. Veil of Summer is only good in your good matchups. I like the Chalices a lot. I think you can maybe play the full 4 Chalices. Those make you a lot better against Cascade. You could even, I guess main decking Chalices may be somewhat ambitious. I'm gonna stubborn. No, I think I should stubborn denial this, but saving stub in this matchup is also valuable. Yeah, so you can get the Alpine Moons for more Beseijus pretty easily. You can get the Veil of Summers for the extra Chalices. I like the second Needle in the sideboard. I think that's pretty good also. Oh, I just noticed also 4 showdowns is like way too many showdowns. You could play like 1 or 2, but I think it's way too many. There's also a 1 mana. There's a 1 mana card. Someone in chat maybe can remember what it's called. But there's a 1 mana card that you can it's an artifact. You can sack it for 2 mana, and you can flicker a creature, and that might be good as a tutor target to go with your Fury and Solitudes. I could definitely see wanting to play 1 copy. You know, that is an Urza Saga target. I do think playing a ton of the Saga targets is good because you're looping the Saga as your main game plan. Okay, we get to do the thing. Ooh, and second inventory is nice. Voyager Staff, thank you. Yeah, I can just never ever remember the name of that card. So if they have Lightning Bolts, we get to protect the Djinn here. I just want to do this once on stream today. I did it a couple times last night. Inventory was a good suggestion. The one good suggestion in the sea this morning. Yeah, I think those are my thoughts. Cool deck for sure. A lot of interesting ideas to play. Best of luck to you. Founding the third path. I'm gonna consider here, I think. Graveyard that. Then I think I'm going to just... Hold on. 4, 5, 6. Bolt them? I guess maybe bolting against the token is a bit better, but this is more aggressive, and I think I beat creativity anyways, right? Yeah, if they creativity, they go to 4 up to 7, and I just win with Apostle's Blessing. Yeah, this is good. I should have thought a bit more, but this is my plan was Edict Insurance with the Terror, and then I can Blessing just hit them for 7. If they fetch, get a token, go for it. Okay. I really wanted to cast an Apostle's Blessing, but obviously feeling very comfy to just have that up the whole game. Okay, so this is always the time where I'm gonna cut the Reveler, bringing in the counterspell, extra counterspells too. People always want me to bring in Magus against creativity, but I just hate to bring in Magus against the Lightning Bolt deck. I don't know. I don't think I can. We had this conversation earlier, and I don't really think I completed this thought, but it is definitely the case that like every single time I have Magus in the sideboard, it's over suggested to bring it in. And I'm not saying that you're wrong for wanting to bring it in. You might be right that it's the best plan, but it's also so easy to play around for them. Oh yeah, so I didn't realize I have to do the stream decker. I cut the iterations for the inventories. You can splash white easily in this deck, can't you? Could be good to pay for protection for an ending. I don't think paying for protection is super relevant, but I do think that ending is an interesting card for sure, especially knowing that Sanctifier in Vec is a really good card against me. Definitely an option. Oh, it looks like I deleted the Expressive Iterations and just didn't add the Frantic Inventories. Yeah, Djinn doesn't help you with ending. You need the colors. Is it March Fire with Djinn? I think that, you know, I don't know that you need that, the cost reduction that much, you know what I mean? I think the cost reduction can kind of be easy to overthink. Take that, Renin 6. Djinn and Thruster will work. I think it's too high on the curve, you know. Djinn has to be like the very top of your mana curve for you to even like consider it at all, really. Marwin, 21 months, thank you. Jeff with Lucy because she gets to hang out with Athena all day. Yeah, she likes to hang out with Athena all day. Athena likes her too, but yeah, I can definitely tell Athena is tired. Okay, so I think I just have to pass here. I think jamming the Djinn and losing to land creativity is pretty bad, especially when I'm going to be able to draw a lot of cards here, potentially 3 even, or potentially like, draw into a counterspell. And if next turn I can go Djinn with Apostle's Blessing and a counterspell up in the perfect world, that would be so good. Okay, not lucky enough to mill over another Frantic Inventory, but we do get to draw 2. And then there's my counterspell. Awesome. Awesome. Hopefully they don't ice my Steam Vents. So bad, okay. I will say this, like... I know they don't have that many answers to a 4 toughness creature, but just having the 0 mana Apostle's Blessing up, it feels really good. It feels fantastic. Alright, so we have 17. Guess we just cast this as, you know, 0 drop, right? 2 counterspells up. Any fogs? No fogs. Alright. Ooh. Only mountain. I think Soul of Windgrace is a really good addition to the archetype. I do think that if you hate losing to 4-color Omnath, then it's not the deck for you. But if you like having a good matchup spread and one really, really bad matchup, that's fine. Okay, my opponent is also mulling to 5 here. Okay, we're gonna keep this hand. I think I'm gonna put back Manamorphose. I don't know if I think I'll keep the Considerer. It's close. I should keep the Bolt too, I think. For instance, spins, Rift Bolt. Interesting matchup. I hadn't thought of Soul of Windgrace and Scapeshift, but somebody this morning had like a really cool looking John Scapeshift list with Soul of Windgrace and Riveteer's Charm. That looked pretty sick. I was into it. So So mine's because I think Omnath will get the hammer soon. Well, we can only hope. We can only dream that Omnath gets the hammer soon, huh? We should do something. We'll have like a burn party. I'll tear up my Omnaths on stream. Another Djinn on top. Omnath is over party. Yeah, I will. We'll give Omnath a Viking funeral on stream if it ever gets banned. I promise. It's got 3 cards in their hand. I'm at 14. I do kind of need to draw a land. So I feel like I should probably be considering this turn instead of Frantic Inventory. Inventory costs 1 mana if I get Djinn out anyways, and I really need to find a land for Djinn. Ooh, it's even painless. Awesome. So Djinn is currently a 4/4. Ryu, 7 months ago, thank you. Am I going to play a burn set? I'd be down. I've played a decent amount of what we like to call either Zap City or Life Total Control. What I do usually like to do is try to do new things, try to innovate. Obviously, sometimes we hero deck like this. Sometimes we play things a little bit more serious than what we're playing today. But I think as far as like stock burns, I'm not that interested. But I've had some like interesting ideas for this archetype over the years. I'm probably just gonna play a second Djinn. Is Living In crossing any lines? I think that Living In is an amazing deck. It has some very frustrating draws against you. I think one effect that maybe not a lot of players realize that if you ban Omnath, if like specifically the card Omnath, I think you should ban, but I know there's a lot of disagreement on banning something in the deck in the first place, what to ban if you ban something. But let's just say if you nerf the 4-color Omnath deck, okay, sadly not presenting lethal here. If you nerf the 4-color Omnath deck, decks like Living In get a lot worse because they prey on Omnath, they prey on like the slow, clunky deck, and you're more easily able to play decks like Murktide, Death Shadow, Rakdos, decks that get to play a lot of like decks that are like low to the ground, more tempo-y, and have like a lot of counter spells and cheap answers, if that makes sense. So yeah, in a way, banning Omnath is I think would be a net nerf to Living In. Omnath is not even the top deck. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? We're talking about banning Omnath in Modern, I guess. Listen, I don't know that you should necessarily ban Omnath on power level purposes. That being said, I think the card Omnath sucks. I hate it. I want it to go, and this is just an opinion I have that's fueled by hate and anger. And every single Magic player has like I think 1 or 2 cards in Modern that they just want gone out of spite and anger. I'm very sick of it. Omnath. I think Omnath does too much for its mana cost and investment, and the reason why I specifically hate that card is that you just get into so many situations where your opponent can have Solitude Ephemerate, they can have any combination of cards besides Omnath, and they're just like so on the back foot that they're going to lose. And Omnath just gains so much life, gives them so much mana, so many cards. Oh, whoops. That it is. I just hate the card. What can I say? Do I think restrictive 1-ups could work in Modern? I think that these kind of like thought trees, like, ooh, what if we restrict Omnath instead? It's like a fun conversation. You know what I mean? It's like, ooh, that's a thought, but it's never going to happen, and I don't think it would meaningfully make Modern better. No, but it's also, but again, it's just like it's just like kind of like a silly, like, it's not going to happen, and I don't think it would make things better. It's not really worth thinking about too much. Salty with the Twitch Prime, thank you. And then Simon with the presumed deck tech. If you want to post that in the chat, you can. Thank you for 2-pack. They did not fix See the Truth, but this is not a list that's as interested in playing See the Truth as the Phoenix version. How's with the new cards? I think that this is, a bit of a hero deck. It's doing some cool stuff. I don't think that this is going to be one of the better decks in Modern, you know. Just kind of a bit more for fun today. Deck inspired by how good Ledger Shredder looked in no bandless Modern. Shredder Sword, interesting. So I'll say that this kind of deck is going to compete with the Esperfu Time Civ deck. Let's grapefruit that. So I have 3, 4. I would need to hit 2 instant sorceries off the Scour or land for the draw plus 1 instant or sorcery to cast the Terror this turn. Which is what happens. Cool. Ward 2, very big. If opponent has Path, they have to spend 3 mana, and I'll get the land. So that's just something to think about, is like, is this deck going to be better than the Esperfu Time Civ deck? And the answer might be yes, for sure. I also always personally really like Stoneforge Mystic in the Urza Sword deck, where Stoneforge can come down, find you your Sword of the Meek. Means you only have to play 1 copy of Sword of the Meek, and you can play a 4th Foundry instead of here. You're playing an extra sword to loot away with Shredder. But Stoneforge Mystic can also like be... It fills a lot of different roles, where it could be a value card getting you Nettle Cyst. It can give you Cauldra. It can be like value for Nettle Cyst, pressure with Cauldra, combo with Sword, or life gained with Shadow Spear. And so I always really like Stoneforge Mystic, and so you have to determine, is Ledger Shredder better than Stoneforge Mystic in this spot? And my initial like reaction evaluation is no. I would rather play Stoneforge Mystic here. I don't know that there's room to play it like both as like 2-drops. Get out of here with this freaking Deflecting Palm. I think the DRC would work in the Shin Shell to smooth the draw spin spells. I don't think there's room. I'm not really interested in playing an extra creature. It also doesn't work well with Stubborn Denial. We're also not playing Vicious Bobble. Cyborg looks really good though. Cyborg looks real good. Could consider playing some like Dispatches of the main. I feel like Dispatch is really good right now. I would also be inclined to play the 4th Urza too. Or at least like the 4th Urza in the sideboard for like the Omnath matchup. Okay, so let's draw a card. Yeah, I want to graveyard that since I just have them lethal that next turn with the Temur Battle Rage. Kind of looking for another counterspell for Deflecting Palm, but... yeah, rough for them to like mold a 5-game 1 and kind of flood out this game. I think Burn could play 2 Tribes and Tribal Flames. No, I think you just can't afford the tap lands. I have played Tribal Flames in like, not Burn exactly, but more like Burn focused decks, and never really liked it. So yeah, again, Simon, I don't think that this like build is bad, but I think like those are the questions you have to ask yourself. Is this better than Time Civ Food? Is Shredder better than Stoneforge Mystic? I don't say this nearly often enough, but a big part of the reason why I like to do what I do, and I like to play decks like this I don't think are amazing, is that when you play decks like this and you get an idea for how the new cards are playing, when other future good cards get printed and you already have a shell built and you've already have an idea for how these cards are performing, then later down the line, these kind of like brews that don't quite make it you've already worked on them, and then you're much more easily able to catch on and add new cards to them. And that's a big part of the reason how I'm able to do what I do is I'm willing to spend the time with these kind of decks, you know. Just taking the time.
Just taking the time.
Her tail is always wagging. And hitting and destroying everything. Are there any good tutor targets for Reclaimer besides Urza Saga and Modern? Yeah, there's plenty of good lands, but... yeah, there's no Dark Depths. Okay, we're playing against Elves. And I have Furies in the sideboard. Oh, I actually played against Elves with this deck yesterday, and I won. but I lost game 1, won both sideboard games. How old is Lucy? She's about a year old, we think. We got her papers and her shot records like yesterday, the day before yesterday. My kingdom for a lightning bolt. Although Djinn is probably pretty good. Yeah, I guess I'll just go. Maybe I should have held up like stub. Maybe I could have caught a. Maybe I could have caught a Coco or Cord or something. But it does seem like this game we're just going to play Djinn, try to kill them on turn 4, try not to be dead, which is tough when we're on the draw against elves. But she's about a year. She's very, very good. She's very sweet. She fits right in. Look, Lucy. Lucy, yeah, yeah. She just loves to be pet. She just loves to hang out. Could not have asked for a better dog. And she was free, too. And she was free. A free-to-play dog, not a premium one. Yeah, I need to find a team about to rage, I guess. I guess it's not super likely that they get this up to 4 power, but we do have the Apostle's Blessing as some protection. Do we steal out of her yard? So the lore is, from what I understand, there was a family that had her, and they were moving, or something happened where they couldn't take her with them, and they abandoned her. And the Grist, we finally get to do it. I'm so happy. The neighbor of Esther's best friend took her off the streets or took her from the neighbors, but that neighbor could not take care of her very well. When we got her, her fur was a mess. It was really nasty and matted and dry and rough, and she was just like apparently like in a crate all day. The neighbor only had her for like a week, and then she was trying to give her to Esther's best friend, and then Esther was like, "Oh, can I have her?" And then she called me, and then Esther called me, and I was like, "Is she housebroken?" And Esther's like, "I'll ask." And she is, and I said yes, and now she's here. Opponent, please minus on my Djinn. What is this? What is this nonsense parade, huh? What is this nonsense of not just snap minusing here, right? Yeah, she knows her name. She knows Lucy's name. So anyone else to sack? I guess so, yeah. I guess. I know, I feel bad for the ghost accusations. I don't know, I've been kind of bad about it today. I tried to really be really strict about it, but also, there's just been so many like 1-2 minute pauses as I fire up the stream, you know? Or as the match starts lately. It's been kind of a pain. Okay, so we're not gonna have lethal here. Again, my opponent is very likely completely innocent. Do I just kill Heritage Druid? I feel like I kill Heritage Druid here. Hold up Stubborn Denial, attack them for 9. Okay, now she's over there. Hold on, I'll probably open the door for her. Best case scenario is, of course, getting to Stubborn Denial, Eclectic Company, killing them next turn. I think this deck may be the Murktide killer. No, I can't imagine that like Murktide is just unplayable because of a deck like this. Yeah, Tolarian Terror has been pretty good, I think. Ooh. Oh baby. How do they have Coco, Grist, and Collected and Court of Calling in their deck? I know stream sniping isn't fun. Yeah, I listen, I know that it does come with the territory of being a streamer. Or you know what I mean? It's like, yes, it does come with the territory of being a streamer, but also so does complaining about it a little bit every once in a while, right? I think accepting, I've totally completely accepted that I'm stream sniped a decent amount of the time. It's fine. But you know, complaining about it just a little bit every once in a while is the trade-off. Thunderstriker, 16 months, thank you. So usually I would cut all the Apostle's Blessing against elves. My opponent is playing Grist, though. I'd also be cutting Stubborn Denials, but they are playing both Coco and Cord. Maybe we'll play two Blessing. And I feel like I actually want to go down on Tolarian Terror, since it just gets jump blocked so much if you don't have TBR. I think you mostly just want to be in on the Haughty Djinn Fury plan. This looks pretty good. Thanks again, Thunderstriker. So we have a Fury in our opening hand against elves. We have like one Djinn too many. We're on the draw. Any red card, any land, make this hand pretty good. We've got 3 looks. I think I should keep. I think a deck scam. Oh, sorry. No, you could post your link in the chat, Bolt. I missed it. If I miss it, just yell at me. I'm not trying to scam anybody, huh? Pioneer blue-red. So the problem here is you're playing Tolarian Terror over Treasure Cruise. There's just like, you know, you have plenty of good playable creatures here, and Brineborn Cutthroat. Ooh, nice. But you have wait, they mulligan to 3? My opponent just mulliganed to 3 as elves. And I might lose, because I might just, you know, never find a land. Or a red card. Yeah, no land, no red card. Gross. So that's one issue, is you have to play 4 Treasure Cruise, I think, in all of these like blue-red decks in Pioneer until they ban it, which will maybe never happen. Brineborn Cutthroat is a card I really, really dislike, and to see that you're only playing Hold on. I guess I'll discard a Denial. I'm in Denial right now. I'll discard the Fury. I mean, discarding Fury against elves is weird, but they have 2 Forge Tenders. What a weird game. I don't think I've ever seen elves win on a molded 3. Yeah, Super Punish. I mean, I think that the thought makes sense. Any red card, any land makes this hand pretty good, and we're... Oh, dude. And we are on the draw. Why is there a land in the grave? We milled it over with Thought Scour. Yeah, I'm just gonna die. We've been played for game 3. Embarrassing loss, though. I can't believe they mulled a 3-1 as elves. Fun game. Okay, we're gonna play for game 3. I'm gonna submit. I really dislike Brineborn Cutthroat. I think you should be playing 4 Sprite Dragon, 4 Ledger Shredder. Infiltrate is fine. You could just play those 4 cards as your 12 threats and play 4 crews. I also think you're playing... Slip out the back. Sorry, I thought this was a different card. Never mind, that card's fine. I like Strangle, I think, over Play with Fire and Blitz, although maybe just play the full 4 Reckless Rages. Well, I guess that's kind of tough if you're going down on creatures, but again, I can't mulligan Fury against elves. I really just can't support playing Chair over Cruise and Pioneer. Make Disappear is fine. You could play like one more if you wanted to, or like 3rd Spell Pierce. I think I will bolt the elf here, not try to just like let them do their thing for first couple turns, and then Fury. I believe I can draw a red card. Sideboard seems fine. I'm probably not going to comment too much on the sideboard. I haven't been working on Pioneer sideboards very much. You need to be playing 4 Opt 2 for sure. 4 Opt 4 Consider, and all of these, like, and 4 Treasure Cruise. It's like, yeah. 4, it says 12 creatures, 4 crews, has these like 16 spots. Got the Blitz, 4th Opt. Go maybe down to 2 Reckless Rages. 2 Reckless Rage, 3 Strangle, 4 Fiery Impulse. 2/2 split Spell Pierce, make disappear is probably okay also. Oh wait, are they Devoted Druid combo too? They might be, they might be. I mean, this is, I have 2 Stubborn Denial, 2 Apostle's Blessings in the deck. Maybe I shouldn't have this many copies though. Both there makes us weak to a Tender. Maybe. They might not, the problem is like they might not save Atlanta or Owls from a Bolt, right, with their Forge Tender. Okay, so I can go Fury 1, 2, 1. Now also play a Djinn. Thoughts on Saga, Power Con on Hardened Scales. It's fine, it's been done. It's like, you can't play like more than like 1 or 2 copies though. I think I have all those notes. I really, again, cannot recommend cutting Brineborn Cutthroat enough. And they just concede. Okay. We 4-1 that league. We 4-1 that league. After a bunch of stumbling and fumbling this morning. I think I should do, let's do one more with the deck just to kind of, I don't feel like I've got an opinion formed on it yet. I guess we can get a league prediction going too.